Where's the packing order? I demanded. I need to check the delivery date. I gave it to Mandy, replied my right-hand assistant, Ted, not taking his eyes off the computer screen in front of him. Could you find it for me? I asked, looking at the adorable Mandy, 5'6" of beautifully packaged femininity, her long, dark hair falling over her face as she rummaged through her tray, looking for the right document. As always, she looked simply stunning in her tight-fitting navy blue miniskirt, a 1.5 miles of long, slender legs ending in blue, high-heeled shoes. Mandy was always on point, no matter what she wore. I knew that the satin bra sticking out seductively through too many undone buttons on her blouse would be matched by a tiny pair of equally satin panties. I knew, because just a few hours ago I'd helped her pull them on over her equally sexy long legs. Likewise, I had helped her put on that very same bra. I don't think my help sped up the process much, rather the opposite, but she didn't complain, and I had no reason to complain. I was still thanking God for the day Mandy had literally walked into my life. The smirk left my face when the phone rang. It could have been an order, but just as likely, it could have been a problem. Good morning, I answered the phone. Michael here. What can I do for you? Oh, Michael, yes? An excited voice on the other end of God knows how many miles of copper wire answered, much to my surprise. Don't be such a pompous bastard, Mike, and don't think I don't know what you've been up to. What have I been up to? Muttered I in response, completely stunned by this woman's anger. Yes, my dear, sweet husband, or perhaps ex-husband, she continued. I know you were with that slut last night. Don't think I was fooled by your story that you had to spend the night in Manchester. Now listen, I began in response. I don't. Well, I was lost in speculation. Honestly, and I think you'll agree that you would be too. God, what are you saying? How was I supposed to respond? If I hadn't been so shocked, I probably would have handled the situation better, but I just sat there holding the phone, lost in conjecture. Don't you have anything to say for yourself, Mike? She took the baton again. Can't find the words? No ready excuses? Not even an attempt at denial? I managed to hum. That had to be the answer. Some sort of explanation, I suppose. But it only came out as a grunt. Well, if you think I was sitting at home stretching my fingers while you were having fun with that slut, you're wrong to think that, she prodded me. Do you remember that fireman from the club I danced with the other night? I can't say I remember, I answered honestly. That big guy with the muscles and blonde hair? She tried to jog my memory. The one you were upset about? Because he put his hand on my ass when we were dancing? What about him? I encouraged her, having no idea who she was talking about and probably foolishly wanting to know what she did to him. Well, by the end of the night, you were probably too angry to remember much, she shouted into my phone. You were probably too angry to know that he and I disappeared into the parking lot for 20 minutes and too angry to notice that my bra was gone when I came back. Now listen, I began, thinking that this had gone far enough and fully aware that the other two people in the office along with me were sitting there listening with a stunned expression on their faces. It was only then that I realized I had left the speakerphone on so they could hear every word that was being said. But by the time I reached to turn off the speakers, it was too late, and she was back at it again. Well, last night he only managed to touch my breasts, and that was only because you were all over that slut. Last night, when you were supposed to be in Manchester, I invited him over to my place for the night. Oh my God! I couldn't say anything more as I realized where this was going. He fucked me, Mike, she cried into the phone. He had me for 3 hours straight. Oh my God. Yeah, okay, I'm repeating myself. He was bigger than you, Mike, she startled me. He's not bigger than me. I automatically rose to my defense. In your dreams, my husband is, she laughed back. In your dreams. Look, I think you should find out. I tried to get a word in edgewise again, but the damn woman was on a roll and there was no stopping her. I should know, Mike, she shouted. I've been following you, you stupid idiot. I have pictures. Photos? Yes, pictures, she continued angrily. I have a transcript of what you said. I know you both agreed to end the relationship after last night, and I know you told her you loved me too much to continue the relationship. But it's too late, you idiot. I let another man fuck me in our marital bed. Oh my God. Okay, I'm starting to get bored. Why did you do it, Mike? She continued, her voice barely audible as she began to cry. Why, when we both love each other so much, did you do this? Why did you get back at me the way you did? I asked calmly, wanting her to think about what she herself had done. I don't know, honey, she cried pitifully into the receiver. I didn't know what I was doing. I love you, Mike, more than life, and I know you love me. Oh, God, how did we get into this situation? What do we do, Mike? What the hell do we do? That's a damn good question. It was at this point that I decided to throw caution to the wind and take a risk. A risk that I may not have had the right to take, but which, with the right circumstances, could work. Honey, I told her softly, though it seemed kind of odd under the circumstances. How about we try to forget about what we both know? How about we pretend none of this ever happened? Do you think we could? She wheezed back at me, snorting loudly as tears no doubt ran down her cheeks. Do you think we could survive this? We can only try, darling, I replied, feeling the emotions overwhelm me as well. If we both try and never remember each other, how we both stumbled. I'll try, Mike, she snorted back. I'll try really hard. Good, I said. And this conversation, it never happened, okay? It never happened, she repeated, and the tone of her voice became more chipper than before. I'll never bring it up. That's my girl, I congratulated her. What time will you be home, Mike? Oh, at the usual time, honey, I replied. Why don't you go and freshen up? I don't want you to look miserable afterward. I will, Mike, I will, she promised. Why don't you go out and get yourself something new to welcome home your hard-working husband? Maybe something sexy? How about a new bra and panties? She replied, suddenly sounding much happier. Just a bra and panties? I couldn't resist. And high-heeled shoes, she giggled playfully. You like me in high heels. High heels and just panties would be even better, I think, I suggested cheekily. High heels and panties, my dear. I feel so much better now. Don't forget, my dear, I began to end the conversation. This conversation never happened. So I'm meeting you at the door in just my high-heeled shoes and panties. And it would be a surprise to you if we never had this conversation. A complete surprise, honey, I confirmed. A wonderful, wonderful surprise. I love you, she whispered into my phone. You're the most wonderful person in the world. I sat up, trying to regulate my breathing, my hand still resting on the phone where I'd just replaced it. I finally looked up at Ted and Mandy, who were still sitting there with stunned faces. I tried to smile, but it wasn't easy. I tried to say something, but nothing came out. Eventually, the silence was broken by Ted. Who was that Michael? I don't know exactly, I replied, my head still spinning. Must have gotten the wrong number. I always knew my husband was a pretty smart guy. Mandy joined in. But Michael, darling, how did you come up with that decision? How could you get away with it? I don't know, Mandy, I grinned back at my beautiful wife, but I hope it works out for them. Me too, Mandy agreed with me. Whoever they are, Ted added. In the middle of the afternoon, Mandy announced that she was done for the day. She had some shopping to do, and she would see me home later. New underwear? I asked with a cheeky grin. No, she laughed back. A new pair of sexy red shoes with 4-inch heels. And no new bra? Won't need one, she replied. No new panties? I smiled in anticipation. Not unless you insist. I don't mind, I moaned. correcting myself. Surprise me. Oh, I'll do it, love. Mandy, my gorgeous wife, Mandy, whispered to me. I'll surprise you, and don't forget. Don't forget what? I asked. This conversation never happened.